Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I haven't been on for a while, but I'm getting back into it now. I've got a better setup and stuff. So I'm starting off with Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising in May 2025. So every reading is different with everyone, so take what resonates and leave anything else behind for someone else, because we're all kind of in like a different phase of the month. Some people may have already experienced this and are like, oh yeah, I just went through that, or vice versa. So we will get started with your first card. It's Queen of Pentacles reversed. So Queen of Pentacles, when Queen of Pentacles appears reversed, the nurturing energy of the Queen may be stifled or misdirected. You might be neglecting your own personal well-being or financial stability in your efforts to care for others. You may be too caught up in acquiring material possessions, forgetting the deeper purpose of creating a nurturing home and being generous towards the ones you love. This reversed card asks you to reconnect with your inner spirit, serves as a reminder to connect with the simple joys of nature, nurture your close relationships and find comfort in everyday pleasures. So to start off with May, Aquarius, you could be maybe trying to fill up other people's cups without filling your own cup up first, busy looking after the kids and the family, or busy just like looking after friends or other relations, your parents, or aunts and uncles, whoever. You're obviously running around helping people and forgetting to look after yourself, which doesn't help at all, because then you just end up burning out because you've got no energy left, and then you're no good to anyone because you've burnt out. So you need to remember to look after yourself, have a self-care day, and just make sure you're not being run too thin. Don't be doing too much for everyone. And don't forget, it's not always about material stuff. You could show people you care about them by going out with them for a day, just for a walk, or watching a movie, or doing some crafts with them, or even making them something. You don't have to buy people stuff to show them that you love them. So you can show them that you love them just with your presence, so just remember that. So don't look after, don't fill other people's cups with an empty cup yourself, and you don't need to spend money to show love for others. So your second card for May is the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords, it's a card of fear and worries. So often when we brush away problems during the day, our mind brings those problems to the surface when we try to relax at night. Alone in the dark, those fears can begin spiraling into despair. The key to moving through this card's energy is to confront your fears in a conscious way. So you could write down your worries or talk to someone about it and make a plan to overcome them. You'll probably find that the things you're worried about are not so frightening when you consciously examine them. So especially if you've been wearing yourself thin and giving out too much, not filling up your own cup, and then you're going to bed still worrying about them, you're trying to look after them too much. I guess you can't say that because it all depends, but you're trying to look after people without looking after yourself, and then you're spiraling into this negative sort of spiral because you're so worried about everyone, and have I done enough for them, or have they got enough? And then that's also emptying your cup even more, because that's just going to exhaust you. And then and sometimes we're worrying about stuff that hasn't even happened yet, or may not even happen, you know what I mean? It might not even happen, and even if it does happen, you've just worried twice over, you've worried about it twice over, and then you've just worn yourself out even more. So try to remember, maybe write down these fears and worries, and just make sure you're not letting them take over you, and make sure it's you're not worrying about stuff that is not even worth worrying about, you know. Just try to look after yourself and maybe have a bit more self-care, have some tough time to yourself, and you know, stop worrying all the time. Yeah, so stop worrying, stop like not filling your own cup. Definitely need to have like a self-care day or something and just rest your mind, because it's just not gonna help anyone if you're gonna get yourself into that state. And yeah, so we'll get on to the next card. Next card is the Lovers card. So the Lovers card, let me just get my notes up. So the Lovers card is all about kind of like choices and connections that shape our destiny. It represents the union of our animal and our civilized selves, of our hearts and minds, and of our hearts with another's. So each decision, including those made in love, can guide us down a particular path, while potentially veering us away from others. By moving towards what we're attracted to, we encounter opportunities for connection and personal growth, but we also limit the possibilities available to us. Making a choice involves sacrifices, commitments, and compromises. When this card appears, it is often an invitation to check in with both your heart and mind to make the best decision. So you need to have like a little bit of quiet time to yourself, a little bit of self-care time, a mental health day, you know. Try and get all of these things written down and in order so you can kind of work through them and not let it turn into like, you know, making a mountain out of a molehill, I suppose, you know. Instead, write it down, make it not seem so scary. And yeah, you've got to make a choice basically about like the sacrifices or the commitments you're making. Maybe you have taken on too much and you need to kind of get someone else in to help you, or not forget about yourself. So many people forget about themselves. They'll be running around looking after everyone else and then they forget to look after themselves because they don't, like, you're a person too, and you need just as much attention as everyone else. And so, and like, yeah, maybe you do need to look at the commitments you've got. Maybe you've got too many commitments, or yeah, maybe there are some sacrifices to make, but you need to sit down and like get your heart and your mind in the same place for sure, you know. Like have a sit down and talk to yourself and like, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to take off my list, like, because I'm overburdened? Or what do I need to focus on more? Or what can I just get rid of altogether? You know, so check in with your mind and your heart. Make sure they both align as well. And then just make the best decision for everyone. And it will affect everyone, not just you, if you're happier, looking out for yourself, filling your cup, and not just being overburdened with worry. So you can talk to someone about it as well, you know, about what's going on in your head. And once you get it out and talk about it, it makes you feel a lot better, that's for sure. Next card is your Five of Wands reversed. So, Five of Wands reversed, that's an interesting one. Okay, so interesting that it's this. So Five of Wands reversed indicates a period of rest and recovery following times of conflict and chaos. Makes sense that it comes after the conflict and chaos, right? So you might be feeling a need to rejuvenate your spirit and soothe your emotions. This card can also indicate a tendency to avoid conflict or competition, perhaps by withholding your true thoughts or not pursuing your passions. While it's sensible to choose your battles wisely, holding back completely can hinder personal growth and potential success. Consider this period a chance to realign your strategies and regain your momentum, preparing to forge a unique path that honors your passions and ambitions. So with the month of May, yeah, there's a little bit of chaos. Your cup is empty. You're overburdened with worries. You need to make a choice about what you need to do to help yourself. And you will make this choice because now you've got this period of rest and recovery. So at the end of May you've come to this point where you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing now, I know what I need to do, you know, and now I can like rest and recover and like kind of like go over everything in like a more clear kind of mindset. And yeah, rejuvenate your spirit, go on a spa, go on some nature walks, and just sit on your own away from everyone and just sit there with like yourself. And just remember, like, if you've not been asking for help because you don't want to deal with conflict or, you know, competition, like, that's no good either, because it will hinder your personal growth and your success, because you're not asking for help, you're not telling anyone anything, and you're just sitting there stagnant in those, like, in those shitty thoughts, you know. So that is your message for May. So yeah, sit down and fill your cup and just think about what it is you need, and align that mind and that heart, and you'll have nothing to worry about. So yeah, and I will be back next week with some more readings for June, so we'll see how you guys got on. But yeah, it looks really good. So, you know, it's all you need to do is just look after yourself as well as everyone else. Thank you for watching. Bye.